Yes. Let me turn this mic up. What am I doing? This mic, these earphones. Maybe I can't hear. Live from Milwaukee, this is the Grapevine on Truth Radio 101.7. This is definitely the Grapevine, and we are on Truth Radio. This is Soapbox Friday. Hey, look, we got to get on our soapbox. Matter of fact, I know we got a whole bunch of people actually in studio that just left those on their soapbox too. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Ray Nitty. They on their soapbox right now. Get on your soapbox. I mean, if you tall enough, get on your soapbox. You know what I'm saying? Zach is about 6'8". He's already on the soapbox. I can't even see them, the five foot people. I'm 5'7", though. And today we have to talk about the world, though, that we living in. Because while some people are struggling to buy groceries and struggling to pay rent, struggling mentally, listen to this. Listen to this. SpaceX. This is a real hot topic. I think Ray Nitty had brought this up with Jeff Lewis. SpaceX about IPO'd, made 4,400 of their employees instant millionaires by $10 million plus. That's right. Reports say that 4,400 of them could be millionaires by the time this IPO is mature. That means Elon Musk is going to be a trillionaire. I don't even know what $1 trillion look like on paper. Like, how many zeros is that? That's 9 plus an extra comma and a digit. That's wild. So think about it. We're watching the birth of a new economic era in real time. AI, automation, billionaires becoming trillionaires. They said there's 1,000 billionaires in America. That's including Hawaii and also Alaska. Believe it or not, Alaska, from what I heard, is very beautiful. Call in, brother Andre Muhammad. I heard Alaska is really beautiful. So while regular people are exhausted emotionally and financially, today we're asking what happens when technology advances faster than humanity? What happens when technology advances faster than humanity? Are we entering a golden age or are we creating a disconnected society? SpaceX IPO and the wave is running. The wave is moving. Like we are in a place where, and I'm gonna repeat this, we are in a place where technology is outpacing in terms of being almost controlled or controlled by humans. Technology is outpacing the advancements of human development. That means they have to find places to place this technology. And I was thinking of a report that I heard about China putting a data center. China put a data center in the middle of the Pacific, near their land. They put a data center in the Pacific. And the data center, from what people are saying, is is huge, is large. But the reason why they put it inside of the ocean and placed it at the bottom of the ocean is because they have to use the water to cool the mechanics of their data center that they put in the bottom of the ocean. But not only that, the shock is coming from people who are aware that it is causing some type of oceanic environmental climate change, and it could cause an oceanic environmental climate change. So what people are warning China about is that bioinformation, the biology of the chemistry of the biology could change from the chemicals leaking from the data center that they place at the bottom of the ocean. This is huge. This is very important. I'm wondering today, is it necessary? Hit me up 833-212-1017 or place your chat in the chat on YouTube, Truth Radio, Milwaukee, Truth Radio 101.7. Go to the chat. It's live right now. Get in there, get live. Today, I'm thinking like, is the AI gold rush, is it worth it? We're taking all of this information that we have in our head and we're putting it into a prompt, a computer, a thing, a mechanic. And then we're asking this thing to disseminate information. In that AI gold rush, jobs, of course, are being replaced. So that, and the reason why I mentioned, and here's the reason why I mentioned that there are at least 1,000 billionaires here in America, is that a lot of those billionaires now are using AI to replace a lot of jobs that were once useful to their companies. And those people are now satisfying those particular positions with zero sum. So they're pushing the owners, the founders, they're pushing for AI to be developed at a faster rate in order for them to operate at a higher margin. This is very, very, very important. I'm also wondering, in all of this Trillionaire talk, SpaceX IPO, and there's other IPOs that IPO lately, the wealth inequality gap. There's an unequal gap in our wealth that is being widened as we speak. Meaning that if you look at the 4,400 employees of SpaceX, they're not necessarily just going to be employees of SpaceX for the rest of their lives. They're not just going to retire from SpaceX. You know what they're going to do? They're going to go to they're going to produce other companies and do the same exact thing that they did at SpaceX. They're going to take this information, rather than hire somebody, they're going to consolidate it, and it's going to go out to the masses as their own company. Or some people may retire. But that's, case in point. I think what they said is like one employee may receive, 10 to 20 mil, maybe even higher. I think the lowest is $10 million just for working for SpaceX. And the reason why SpaceX is one of the reasons why SpaceX is important, and I'm gonna have to say this, is because they looked at, and instead of like NASA versus SpaceX, this is simple. NASA uses material that they need, maybe third, fourth parties to broker so they can use this material on the space machines and whatever else they do. SpaceX went to the actual material founders, and they cut out all the middle people, and they went from like, hey, you know what, we need this information, we need these materials, to the material founders, to the actual mineral, and they start mining the minerals and the chemicals and all this other stuff, and then they started placing it in their companies. So the margin went up exponentially. So that is one of the reasons why you have SpaceX IPOing at close to and over at this point over $1 trillion. NASA, on the other hand, is faltering. NASA's faltering, and we are in Milwaukee. We barely have. Are there any billionaires out of Milwaukee? Are there billionaires that live in Milwaukee? Any? I just want to know. Do we have any high level above 500 millionaires that are in Milwaukee? Any? But what about any? Are there any close to $250 to $500 million of net worth? Are those people in the black community at all? Let's talk about it. Y'all can tune in. Y'all can tune in. Hey, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or statements, please give us a call, 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. You're on the Truth Radio 101.7, and this is the Grapevine. Take me away, Zach.
Educators Credit Union is more than a place to manage your money. They're where your financial possibilities take shape. They're more than transactions. They're conversations about your financial goals. More than numbers, they're community advocates who support free, local events that are accessible to all. They foster community because we are stronger together. Educators Credit Union is people helping people. Become a member at ECU.com. Insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds.
7. I want to thank our people here. They have been kicking it. They've been kicking it. The World Cup is finally here. The World Cup is officially kicking off with a bunch of matches happening across the U.S. FIFA, that's the governing body of the international soccer. And international soccer they've introduced new rule changes specifically for this tournament aimed at eliminating time wasting and correcting potentially game-changing officiating mistakes. So this is a massive cultural moment. What do people like? Do people like the actual football, or is football bigger? Like the actual football, like American football, or is soccer bigger? Is the conversation about soccer in America, is it growing? Are people in our communities thinking about soccer? Are we putting our kids in soccer as much as we see, our actual European counterparts and African and some of the Asian counterparts? Are we putting our kids in soccer? Soccer's an international sport, where a lot of kids they create opportunities for themselves, not just locally, but regionally and also internationally. It's huge. I'm excited to have soccer on all channels again. I've been passing a lot of bars that have been locked down, and now they're opening up, and they have a lot of people out. They're playing the music. They got, folks in their colors. Like, this is something we need. We need this. This is like, I love the fact that we're able to get soccer on the screens again. So my soapbox is the Obama Presidential Center. I'm excited for the Obama Presidential Center, no matter what. If you agree or you don't agree with President Obama, that's okay. But I'm excited because it's on the south side of Chicago. If you know about south side of Chicago, I'm excited that they're able to open up the center, the Obama Presidential Center, June 19th in Chicago. It will hire a gang load of folks from the neighborhood. They have specifically hired people to work the Obama Presidential Center from the neighborhood, the South Side neighborhood that they're on. I forgot I forgot where it's at, but in terms of street, but it's somewhere on the South Side of Chicago. I'm excited. I hope you guys are, because this is one thing that needs to be touted and highlighted. A young man from wherever he's from came to Chicago, and no matter what we agree or disagree on, Obama ain't a normal American name to be placed on a presidential center. So go view it, go see it, world pass it, walk in, talk to the people that work there. At the very least, I remember Dick Gregory saying he was in Milwaukee, and I think he was talking to Eric Vaughn, and the question came up, hey, where do you get your information from? And he was saying, well, do you know the janitor? Like, every time I'm moving around, I always introduce myself to the janitor. So I'm not saying the people that are working there from the South Side are janitors or nothing like that, but they can be. It's a job. However, when you go, talk to the folks, because they're the folks that give you the most amount of information that you would need in order to navigate yourself in and around that presidential center. Summerfest is 6 days away. Summerfest 7 days away. No, it's 5 days away. My fault. So Summerfest is the talk of the town. You got a bunch of people coming. I think the Roots may have canceled. Am I wrong? Did somebody say the Roots canceled? Because the Roots canceled, man. I don't know. Somebody tell me if the Roots canceled. 833-212-1017. I think the Roots did probably cancel, and I'm excited I'm excited that there's another outlet for people in Milwaukee, because we do. If you listening in from wherever, if you're listening in from a place that experiences 9 months plus of sunshine, then if you don't know about the Midwest, we get all 4 seasons, and we usually say we get 3 months of sunshine. We do get 3 months of sunshine. Matter of fact, there's always 1 week in Wisconsin, especially if you are based around a lake, where we get 100% humidity and 100 degrees. So it can be just as hot here as it is in the bottom of Florida. So I'm excited. I'm excited that there's an outlet for people to go to and hang out. I think they have 100 new food and beverage items. So they probably got a gang load of vendors that are coming through. And that's exciting. That's huge. Also want to mention there's a I wanted to continue a small part of our conversation we had when we were talking about people kind of dumbing down from AI and our phones. We have a lot of folks that are always addicted to their phones, picking up their phone, texting, messaging, you name it, you know it. And there's a company called dumb.co, dumb.co, and dumb.co is a company that has, Zach, can you pull that up? Can you pull up? Oh, dumb.co, dumb.co. It's a company that has what they have a really simplified version of a phone. So, for example, like if you want to text or do the kind of the complexities that we do on our phone, you can't do that. Dumb.co actually created, I think this is what it is. They created a device that's just, it says it syncs to your smartphone, includes maps, music, Uber, and all your messages only if you want. So this is highly controllable. It's controllable by you. So you don't have to necessarily have, all the buttons, right? But in reality, like if you scroll over to the gray phone, Zach, you scroll over to the gray part of the phone, like that's all the buttons that you have on this particular phone. It's amazing. So I'll read, if people are just listening, I'll read the description of dumb.co. Dumb.co was born in Washington, D.C. in 2025. So after a small group of neighbors, the power of community is crazy in this concept. Came together to form a month offline. So it was a 30-day challenge. It was a 30-day challenge to ditch our smartphones. The description says we learned a lot from along the way, and we decided to design a device that's just dumb enough. The Dumb Phone 2 is a companion device that syncs with your smartphone and includes maps, music, Uber, and all your messages, but only if you want. So they said our little team is stoked. It's not a lot of people that are on the founder team. What I'm trying to tell people is that, thanks, Zach, that people, you can do whatever you want. This is not like, this ain't new. This is just something that people thought about and people have been thinking about, but these people decided to, as neighbors out of Washington, D.C., they decided to just haul off and make it happen. So I think if you're looking for some inspiration, if you're looking to make something happen for yourself, you could, and like Gerard Blank said, not everybody is designed to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody is designed to go into business, but everybody is designed to have a passion. And these people took a passion play, and they turned it into a business. Now it's dumb.co, and they're making, some money. Hey, y'all, if you got any comments, questions, or concerns,
their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Greco.
That beat is nice. Food is medicine, baby. Food is medicine. Before you hit the weekend, I've told people, do not start your diet on Monday. I'm advocating for you not to start it on Monday. Please don't. Don't say you're going to. If you got a thought to start your fitness journey on Monday, don't start on Monday. That's my soapbox. Don't. start on Monday. Start on, the next hour. Start where you can see. You can't see, like, you can visualize Monday, but you can basically see the next hour. Start the next hour. Grab you a juicer. Grab your juicer, get some ginger shots, get some ginger from wherever, and get some ginger shots. Boom. Put it through. Get some ginger shots, put it through. Start juicing that ginger. If you can't juice the ginger, grab you some cucumbers, some apples, some kale, add a little lime to that. Sometimes I juice the entire lime. So take the lime, put it through. Boom, you got a kale, cucumber, apple, lime juice. I honestly take about four apples, take a bunch of kale, maybe a bag or two, put it in there, add some cucumbers and some limes. You got a fantastic juice. It sometimes has to happen like this too. You should be able to take that ginger, and it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot, but in reality, it's a way to make yourself healthier. Plain and simple. Sea moss. I'm excited for a lot of people who are taking sea moss, especially because sea moss contains vital nutrients and minerals that help the body grow, help the body become a whole human. Because sometimes we become partial humans. The more we get away from unhealthy eating or other types of foods. Let's see. Intermittent fasting. How many of us do intermittent fasting? I like to know how many of us do intermittent fasting. Like I think usually I'm doing my intermittent fasting between Tuesday and Friday mornings. Tuesdays are usually the days that I do my intermittent fasting. So I'll wake up, I won't eat until about 1:30, and then what I'll do is I'll probably grab some water, maybe some fruit, and then go to sleep. There are days where I'll just take an entire day and not eat or drink anything, and I'll wait until just before bedtime. And that's just my thing. I'll wait just before bedtime and then eat, and I'll feel good with what I'm doing. I do advocate for people to start partaking in anti-inflammatory foods. It's not just ginger, but you're looking at quinoa, couscous. Like we can look at rhubarb, collard greens, foods that won't push up the inflammation in your body. Like I remember many people coming into the shop, into the juice kitchen, and asking about how they can get rid of inflammation. But remember, inflammation is nothing but something being inflamed. So if you eat something and it's high in sodium or high in a sugar content or even high in a starch, then, and I'm just picking something out the tree, then you are susceptible to inflammation, and high levels and high doses of it can cause many types of diseases. So please, my people, if you're trying to become healthier, then work on not partaking in inflammatory foods. It's simple. Now, I wanted to switch subjects a little bit because I know I'm gonna have a few guests on later on that will be not today, but they'll be talking about maybe in the future, talking about Ozympic and the pros and cons of Ozympic. But I ran across this kind of groundbreaking highlight, and it was talking about Ozympic and how Ozympic is now a mental health drug too. So, in terms of Ozympic is probably one of the largest and probably one of the fastest growing health drugs in the history of the United States, history of the world. So a massive study of nearly 100,000 people found that GLP-1 medications like Ozempic were linked to sharp reduction in depression, anxiety, psychiatric hospital visits, and substance use disorders.
Because you know what it really is, right?
What is it?
I heard it's like poison.
Word.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can find it. But it's like from some, either a scorpion or a snake. Like that's literally like what it's from.
Right. Yeah.
So your people are putting poison into their bodies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's their stomach isn't digesting the food that they end up eating, and it just sits like above their intestines. That's why people that are on Ozempic don't use the bathroom like normal people.
Oh, snap.
Because their bowels aren't moving.
Oh, wow.
And then they get yeah.
Yo,
I'm going to see if I can find the video.
Pull that up because that's huge. Yeah, please find that video. So, as Zach pulls it up, because I definitely want to see that. It says a trial found semaglutide, which is GLP-1 Ozempic, also reduced heavy drinking in people with alcohol use and disorder. In January 2026, the FDA removed suicidal ideation warnings, and we can, talk about the FDA, who controls it, blase skippy if you want to, but even remove suicidal ideation warnings from the GLP-1 drug labels after reviewing the evidence. The Ozempic personality debate is real. This Ozempic personality debate, meaning that it's changing, Ozempic, I guess, is changing its course a little bit. And most drugs are going to change their course. I think back in the days of Kemet, for example, aspirin was used. They used aspirin for people who needed to numb the dental pain. So they need to numb the dental pain in order for them to get teeth removed. And then it became, of course, Tylenol, because some company took it over. But that also changed the direction. Now they got it in liquid form and all this other stuff. So yeah, Ozempic is now is switching its pivoting, is switching its modality. It's going from a weight loss kind of diabetic drug, from diabetes to weight loss. Now it is used to have a sharp reduction help people have a sharp reduction in depression, anxiety, psychiatric care, and substance use disorders. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. I'm wondering what will happen when I wonder what will happen with Ozempic and when it's all said and done. I really am. I'm very interested in this. So before we take a break, it also says that Ozympic can help your heart recover from a heart attack. That's wild. Can help your heart recover from a heart attack. So it says new research suggests GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro may also help protect the heart after a heart attack. So if you know somebody with a heart attack, that has had a heart attack, it's like this stuff is beyond weight loss. The drug is rewriting what we thought we knew about treatment. It is. Hey, Zach, play the video real quick. We want to know about this Ozempic poison. We got it.
Oh yeah, 1 second. I gotta unmute it.
Okay.
I gotta move the camera like this.
Called Extendin-4. Extendin-4. No GLP-1 anything in. No, there's no GLP-1 anything in Ozempic or Wegovy. But you have to go read the research studies of how they developed it to know what they put in it. They put inside of it just one substance. It's called Extendin-4. Exendin-4. It's made up of a protein called Exendin-4. Exendin-4 is isolated from the venom of a lizard that lives in the southwestern United States deserts called the Gila monster lizard. And you're injecting that inside of you.
What?
And they've been studying this venom protein since 1956. So, Extendin-4 is a neurotoxic venom from a lizard, and you're all injecting inside of you. And this drug, Ozempic and Wegovy, is being promoted as a weight loss drug and a diabetes drug. Extendin-4 is a venom protein, and they have found and published that when you inject that into a human being, it will circulate into your bloodstream, obviously, because they just injected it inside of there, or you did yourself. You self-inject Ozempic and Wegovy once a week for the rest of your life. It's a lifelong prescription, like a high blood pressure drug. So you're injecting all of you once a week Extendin-4 Gila monster venom protein into your body, and they know that venom protein will circulate throughout your arteries and your intestines, and it will touch what are called L cells. Do you know what else this Extendin-4 is published to do? Did you know that Gila monster venom, published by the Smithsonian Institute last year, they were interviewed. They wanted to know how toxic is Gila monster venom. Not a joke. They actually said, it's published by CNN, that Gila monster venom is as toxic and deadly as a western diamondback rattlesnake's venom. And there are now millions of Americans injecting that venom inside of them every single day, being told it's a GLP-1 drug approved by the FDA. This is venom, people, and you're injecting it into your body. And Extendin-4, this venom protein of the Gila monster, is published by the FDA with a black box warning. Anybody injects themselves with this for 12 to 36
yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Yes. Welcome back. As we wind down to welcome our guests at 2:30, Eric Murray of the Jacksonville Jaguars, born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yes, this is the Grapevine on Truth Radio 101.7 in the American Family Insurance Studio in the 3rd Street Market Hall. And outside these glass walls, I see some of my people having lunch. They out there having lunch. Oh my gosh. Are y'all eating? Like, I don't get it. Somebody let me text them right quick, because they're eating. I'm like, I want to eat. I'm hungry. This cannot be this. I'm going to text my people right now. It's like 4 of them it's 4 of them sitting down, chilling. It's 1, 2, 4 of them. Why are y'all look at this. I'm gonna do this. Why are y'all eating lunch without me? This is hilarious. But yes, exactly. You see that? They right there. And this camera is clear. It's crystal clear. Thanks, Zach. I really appreciate that. Man, that's bogus. Look.
Oh, okay. Yep, I see him.
You see
Now
him?
I'm really about to zoom in.
You
on
see
him.
him? Zoom
All right,
in.
Let's see.
Zoom in. What they doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yup.
It's supposed to be 6 of us, but
Yup,
it's 4
look at
right
him.
now.
Oh, that's Shannon right there.
That's Shannon
Look
right
at
there.
Shannon.
Tripping. They tripping, man. Biko in there. Biko, he the man, he the corporate, he the boss. Biko the boss. This is crazy. They zoom in. They look at this. I don't know. I'm appalled. I'm appalled. Yeah, text
Tell him to
him.
wave to the cameras.
Hey, y'all, wave to the camera. Let me text him and tell him to wave to the camera. Wave to the camera. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, wave. Yeah, be wavy. Somebody text us an apple. I didn't leave it, though.
Oh, look. Now they leaving.
Now they leaving. They in trouble. Now they leaving. Now y'all know where they be eating at. In front of the 4 spot. 414 spot. This is nuts, man.
Look at Ray. Look at Ray.
Ray.
Look at him. Look at him.
Tripping.
Look at him.
Tripping. Hey, y'all, listen, if y'all down here at the Truth radio station, man, pull up. These people be eating, and they leaving, though. Where y'all going? There's Sierra holding up an apple. That's cold. Listen, GLP-1 is wild. I didn't even know that, Zach. This is nuts.
Crazy.
How you?
They got everybody out here full.
They got people food, man.
It's all marketing. That's what it come down to.
Yeah, that's true. And marketing goes right into the research. So they marketing some things that are unhealthy to the folks. This is nuts, man. How many of y'all? I don't even want to say it, but how many people know some people on GLP-1? How many people know someone on GLP-1? Or if you have something to say, if you're not afraid, you could go out on the limb and tag us, tag us in the chat. Let us know, tag you it, and let us know if you were on GLP-1. How did it work? Because I know people who will get on GLP-1, go up for like 2-3 months, come off, and then boom, like, you know, they back to a specific size, the size that they don't want to be at. You know, that's huge. That's a huge up and down. Now, I know people that go up and down and stuff like that. There's no knock against, you know, what you're doing for yourself and how healthy you want. And I'm not figuring out for you how healthy you should be, but you know, with most drugs come side effects, and they don't. And admittedly, they have also said in these studies, you know, in most research that it comes from a specific source. It comes from, you know, a well-studied, you know, and well-run machine of researchers. But we don't know what the major side effects are until people start exhibiting some of these research side effects or these assumed side effects. So, I mean, if you know somebody who's all up in the GLP-1, let me know. I mean, chat it up, chat it away. Shoot, I want to understand what's going on. I really do. If you know somebody, let me know. So, this is, you know, I'm not necessarily asking for people to tune into this, but the UFC fight, anybody? UFC fight on the White House lawn. I'm not gonna tune in. I know some of the fighters. I like fighting. I'm a fighter myself. I like to see, the expression of fighting in our country and in our world. I think it's a great outlet, especially for individuals that are doing their thing out in the street. You have this is quite possibly one of the better outlets. But you're on the White House lawn. President Trump has made it a spectacle to redesign. I don't know. I haven't been out to D.C. I haven't seen pictures of this thing. But all I know is that it's not going to be great weather. So he's redesigning. He's redesigning, or not him, but him and his team have redesigned the lawn, the front area of the lawn, of the White House lawn, I think, to put in what you would call kind of a modern gladiator era type of stadium for people to sit in this weather. And somebody, our president, is the Caesar of it all. He comes out, and it's in recognition of the 250 years of the founding of America. Blah, 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 Skippy. Right now, I think they had a number of fighters that were supposed to fight, and those fighters either weren't invited. John Jones, call in, John Jones. We gotta.
Every time the devil opened his mouth, Jesus threw scripture in his mouth. He came back at him again, and he said, "Devil, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone. It is written, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God." He hit him over and over and over with the scripture. And guess what happened? The devil ran.
Ooh. Oh, that was fire. I need that all the time. Oh my gosh. What? Man. Somebody lit somebody else on fire. Man. So we're officially living in the performance era. Everybody's branding themselves, selling something, posting success, behind the flyers, behind the captions, the luxury aesthetics. People are tired. I think people are tired of watching folks, come up on top. Look at, just before we went to break, started talking about the White House lawn spectacle, the 250 years of America being founded on these shores, these lands. And it's very interesting. It's very interesting. They've torn up some lawn along with tearing up some buildings in order to make sure that they can have a UFC event. Why? But why? Why the UFC? And I get it. Dana and Trump are friends. As a matter of fact, Trump bailed out Dana White a number of times, primarily one large time that bailed him out. So he wound up becoming real cool with him. I don't know the full story, but they got real close. And then he just started attending. Started getting free tickets. He started getting free tickets, and then that was it. He just kept coming to the events. So, and he started winning over some of the fighters. Trump did. However, if you look at it, fighting on the White House lawn, ain't it like it's a thing. It's a thing. You know, now you went from the gladiator era of the Spartans and the Romans and all them to bringing that type of event and spending time during a critical moment of history, spending that time and that money to put on an event on the White House lawn. Now I'm gonna actually look this up. You have a number of fighters who are fighting on that fight card. So who is fighting on the UFC? So you got, let's see. Oh yeah, they revealed the list. I'm gonna look at the list. All right. You got, okay, here we go. You got Ilya. Oh my gosh. You got Ilya Tapora versus Justin Gaethje. So Justin Gaethje is quite possibly one of the greatest fighters the UFC has ever produced. In that, yes, he has probably, I think he had like one or two losses. He lost, but he beat somebody. He beat a number of folks, and he's kind of on his way out. But they call him Showtime because he puts on a really good show, and he does. Justin Gaethje is a really cold fighter. Matter of fact, he won. He won his first fight and he was a collegiate wrestler, but he went into to MMA fighting, and he won his first fight by slamming a guy and knocking him out. And then you got Ilya Tapora, who's one of the top lightweight fighters in the UFC, and he's knocked out a number of people with his hands. You got Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane is a French fighter from, of course, Paris, and he used to be a kickboxer, but he went into MMA, and he is definitely a good fighter, but he got smashed by John Jones, who's not on the list because they didn't want to pay him. They didn't want to pay John Jones, possibly the greatest fighter UFC has ever produced. They didn't want to pay John Jones. Alex Pereira, he's one of the greatest fighters. And then they have a number of other folks, Sean O'Malley, Bo Nickel, and Diego Lopez. This is in any sense of the word, it's a good card. You got Alex Pereira and Ilya Tapora and Justin Gaethje, who are the draws, but in reality, this is not the best because you don't have all the champions that are willing, all the champions and the people who have zero on their records. You don't have all those people that are fighting on the UFC card this weekend at the inside of the octagon in front of the White House, on the White House lawn. That is like, this is wild. But I see that we are trying to blend politics and not just sports, but politics and fighting. And this is a pull. This is a draw. I think this is also on Trump's birthday, if I'm not mistaken, or around his birthday or something like that, where it's kind of all coalescing into one. This is while we have his friend IPOing his company at $1 trillion. What's going on, America? What are we doing?
Don't forget, they banned Sean Strickland too.
And they banned Sean Strickland, who just won.
He's the champion and he can't even beat her. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. So you banned Sean Strickland, who literally just won. He got the belt, and you don't want him to fight, nor do you want to pay John Jones to fight. So you just disallow John Jones to fight anybody, and you got this dude.
Well, we know why they banned Sean.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
hey.
we already know. Yeah, and we know why they didn't want John Jones to fight too. We know that. You know, it's all politics, They don't want John Jones. They didn't want John Jones to fight, man. This is crazy. I don't get it, but and I think there's a number of ways in which they could have worked around that, but we'll see what happens this weekend. Hopefully, I don't know who's tuning in. Who's tuning in to the fights? I don't think I'm a fight. I don't think I'm gonna watch it. It's something that I'm not interested in. Not any of the fighters. I've seen them fight, and they're not spectacular to me. But combat sports is cool, and it helps me. I gravitate towards it because I was fighting a lot back in the day. But man, now I don't know. This is on the White House lawn. I don't know. This is crazy. This is wild. So coming up at 2:30, we have Eric Murray of famous Eric Murray. He's an NFL player that plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's going to be coming in. We're going to be talking football, discipline, pressure, what it means to come out of Milwaukee, what it means to be a youth growing up in the Milwaukee area and then moving around playing at such a high level as a strong, promising athlete and promising Hall of Famer. Hopefully he gets to the Hall of Fame. We want somebody from Milwaukee in the Hall of Fame. I'm sure we probably got a number of folks there too. And then later on at 3, we got the soundtrack of the city. One of the soundtracks of the city. We have DJ Booba, and I want to definitely dig into that because that's a part of DJ Booba is a part of our thing. This is part of our thing here in Milwaukee. So I can't wait. The Knicks and the Spurs. Knicks and Spurs. This is gonna be good. I think the game tonight. Zach, the game tonight?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up.
I think the game might be tonight or something. Let's see. The game tonight. It's coming up soon. So, yeah. It's Saturday. The game is Saturday at 8:30. So if you're in New York, I know you guys are gonna be watching like crazy. It's gonna be everybody out in the streets, so on and so forth. Knicks, you gotta bring it home. Bring it home to New York. I think New York needs it. Manhattan, Madison Square Garden, y'all need it. Like, bring it home, baby. Bring it home. I do want to talk about how this is a very interesting subject that I wanted to talk about, and we had a guest on here probably a couple of weeks ago, and our guest was talking about license plate cameras, and I'm interested in this conversation because so many of us drive through a lot of these smaller villages and neighborhoods, and we don't realize that.
And honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
That should be my soundtrack for when I travel. Although we got so much going on, inflation is up 4.2%. So let me explain inflation before I go into my next subject. I'm gonna explain inflation like this. I heard it simply put that inflation is the effects of inflation can happen like this. You take 2 cucumbers, and let's say you go to the store, you take 2 cucumbers, and they are 50 cents a piece. And you only have $1 to pay for 2 cucumbers. When inflation enacts itself, what happens is the cucumbers that you had money to pay for at 50 cents a piece then start to increase in price, meaning that you can only get for your dollar, possibly if 1 cucumber increases in price at 75 cents, that means you only have 25 more cents left to pay for another cucumber. So do you actually use that 25 cents to pay for the cucumber, or you hold on to it? That's exactly what is going on in our economy. We have a number of individuals that are struggling to make ends meet, that are struggling to make ends meet due to the fact that inflation is going up. But doesn't mean that people are not traveling anymore. People are traveling some more. As a matter of fact, people are traveling a lot. Summer travel, from what I know, summer travel is exploding. Although if you look on orbits.com or whatever, you'll find that, and remember y'all, I'm on my soapbox, so I'm just gonna keep on going. You'll find that people are real life. People are going on orbits. They're looking at tickets that are double the price, or maybe even 20% more than what they would have paid for in 2025, and they're still purchasing these tickets, and they're not stopping. So people are like taking the brunt of the inflation, especially if you look at how the effect of Spirit Airlines going away, evaporating into, like, they're evaporated into thin air. They were looking emaciated, but then they evaporated. Now that you don't have a price floor, the ceiling done shot up to the roof. Now these people are like, man, since we're not having any more low-cost airlines, well, this low-cost airlines, large low-cost airlines, this thing is going to the roof. I'm about to send these stocks and these prices to the roof. So you think about it, this is interesting. So people are choosing experiences over possessions. People are really choosing experiences over possessions. And that's a hot topic. It's really a hot topic. People are choosing their experiences over the possessions. But I like plenty of experiences. I like Tulum. If you've ever been to Tulum, I have not been to Tulum, but I have been to Mexico, and I do know that Mexico is a great place to go. You can find some really good flight deals going to Mexico. So if you have never been to Tulum, Cancun, Oaxaca, some of the other places, then you're missing out. But Mexico is hot. Mexico is hot. So think about it. Also, Belize. If you ever been to Belize, if you have not been to Belize, Belize is great. Belize is a great country to travel to. Belize has quite possibly some of the most beautiful greenery in the world. They have a area of like I think it's a coral reef, but it's a blue in the middle of the coral reef, and this blue area is I think they call it Big Blue or something like that. I mean, it's deep. It like this thing goes deep. So if you swim in there, just know that you need to have your fins on because the thing is deep and it's real blue. And they said it's beautiful. I've seen a little bit of it. It's real beautiful. Morocco, from what I heard, is trending. So if you are a fan of Africa, then Morocco is one of the great places to go. Japan, from what I know, it's a lot of things about Japan that people don't realize. One is Japan, its technology is it's ahead of the time. I remember my father going to Japan in 1980, and he said the stuff that was out in 1980, people weren't even messing with it, and people weren't even messing with it in the 90s. They like it wasn't even being touched. It's crazy. Hey, we got a caller on line one, Mr. Wright. You going to Belize soon?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we planning the trip for Belize. So it's funny when I hear you talk about it. You know what I mean? And it's something we talking about doing. But they got one of the biggest reefs in the world. You know what I mean? The reef you was talking about that's one of the biggest reefs in the world in Belize. But yeah, man, they got good health insurance too there, man. And you don't got to be a resident. Now it's like $200 a month for health insurance, dog.
What?
So we thinking about retiring to Belize, but that's why we taking a trip to Belize. We gonna go check it out. I guess we planning on going about for 7 days.
Yeah.
But then we're gonna go back again. We just want to see what it's like though. But they got universal health care or something.
Yeah.
I believe in Belize.
Yep. Yeah, that healthcare is nice over there, man.
Yeah, so we go ahead and check out Belize, man. So it's just funny to hear you say that. I just wanted to speak about it because I heard you speak about it. So
yes, sir.
I appreciate you guys, man. You guys have a great day, man. I'm going to listen.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I appreciate it, and be safe over in Belize now. Retire well.
I will.
All right. Take care, my brother. Yeah, I think Belize is possibly, for me, it's a great retirement community, man. It's a lot of people, and not just people are retiring because they're old and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of people that are in their 40s that are retired over there. Matter of fact, Jay Prince got a whole island. There's a basketball player, I forgot his name. He got an island out in Belize. The thing is wide open in Belize, man. Like if you wanna do what you want, they got beaches, like clear beaches.
I don't trust people with their own island anymore.
Oh man, that's crazy. You gotta pull up. Oh, okay.
Why do you need all that room? Just buy a house. Buy a house like a normal person. Buy a couple acres.
So he can't.
Why do you need a whole island?
He can't have a hut. Hey, I know. It's crazy. It's wild, but some people just need that space.
Sound like I'm hating because I am, but still.
Yeah.
Why do you need a whole island?
It's a real hate going on. I don't know why people need a whole island. I know that if I did have a whole island, I would have a bunch of family around. At least they'd keep me on my P's and Q's. Pause on the P's. But you get what I'm saying. Pause. But you get what I'm saying. I would definitely be on my P's and Q's. Dang, another pause. So yes, I'll be on my Q's. Yes, definitely. The other thing before we got the caller was Japan. So my guy went to Japan and he went with relatives and stuff like that, and he said it was nice. It was clean. People weren't running all over you on the back of your heels like in some very dense populations. He made it he made it fun for himself and his family. So I know that Japan also has ghost homes. So ghost homes, Japan has a population that is getting older and is old, and majority of the folks that are in Japan that are older and haven't had many kids or any kids at all, they're a lot of times have abandoned those homes to move into homes that are conducive to their old age. So now those homes that can't be sold are basically just going, unused and or abandoned. What are we going to do? For me, if I had to cash, you know what I'd do? I'd go and purchase a couple homes. They said it's nice living in Japan. It's not always too hot. It's not always too cold. It's kind of like just in the middle in a sense. So, ain't nothing wrong with
Retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Yes. Welcome to the Grapevine. Welcome back to the Grapevine. And this is very interesting. I'm gonna hit the chat. I'm going to hit the chat on the Grapevine. Make sure you call in 833-212-1017. 833-212-1017. And I'm going to hit the chat. Looney504 said Knicks fans are trash for beating up Spurs fans. I mean, you know, I know some New Yorkers. Looney, Robert Lance said, where everyone at? Looney504 said, most material possessions decrease in value. Memories are forever as long as you don't lose your memory. Robert Lance said, have fun, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright is on his way to Belize. Let me tell you, Belize, Panama, the whole Central America, it's a lot of fun. If you want to go to a place that has some very interesting things to do, like real curious things to do, hit Central America. I mean, you got, and I'm talking about Central America, anything connected to it, like Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Belize, Honduras, Ecuador, El Salvador, Panama, all those places. I'm probably missing something, but all those places have some of the best time you could ever have. And they got jungles that you can, man, being in the jungle. Oh, Costa Rica. Like if you have not been and you don't have a passport, grab that passport right now and go hop a plane, hit Costa Rica, hit Nicaragua. You can live if you are a nomad, if you're a digital nomad, you can live there for a long period of time on little to nothing. Panama especially, Belize for real. Belize a little bit in terms of like rental costs, housing costs, a little bit more expensive, but just a tiny. It's not a whole lot. But when I say that it's dope, it's dope. Let's see. Digital. If you are a digital nomad, straight up, digital nomad, you can do your thing, man. If you're a digital nomad, you can definitely do your thing. You will have a lot of fun. So I know somebody who was actually on a wellness retreat right now, and they are, I think, on their 7th day, possibly 6th day, and man, they're enjoying it. They're loving it. They're loving the fact that there's a they're loving the fact that they can take a break. They can relax. They can take in the sights and not have to worry about the stress and the sounds of almost like big city life. This is to be able to be a part of a wellness retreat, even if you're doing it by yourself or with a number of individuals. Like that's important. It's important to be able to take time to yourself and relax and take care of yourself, have some mental real estate. That's huge. That's huge to me. So are people, I want to know, are people traveling anymore? Are people trying to emotionally escape? Is this a part of our construct? Are people, I wonder if people are traveling anymore. I mean, for me, if people aren't traveling anymore, then it's almost like no fun. You know, I love going to the airport and people watching. It's almost like, for me, it's a pastime, and I know a lot of people do it. It's a pastime for other folks, but we want to know, is it for you guys, who goes to people watch in the airport? Are you and what goes to your mind? I remember being in the airport and I had a number of incidents in the airport, and there's some of them are super funny. But I was traveling with an older gentleman of mine. I'm not gonna say his name, but I remember it was like me, my brother, my father, and another older gentleman. He was older, from one of my father's older friends, and we're walking with him through BWI, Baltimore Washington International. And we're walking with him, and he's like, at the time he's probably like 80-something years old. So my father, and my brother's like 6 foot, I'm the runt. So we walking, we kind of look like we're on something. And then this old white guy walks like he's walking alone, but he walks, and he's about 6'3", 200 and about 240 pounds he got a belly, older guy. And he had one of those old school blue jean cowboy outfits with cowboy boots. And he had a briefcase, probably some clothes in it, whatever. And then he had a cowboy hat. And he walked up to, he literally, because, the older gentleman that we knew, had like a Eastern, Muslim type of cap on. And so we walk up to, the guy walks right up, and he doesn't move around at all. Like, he walks directly up to the older gentleman that we were traveling with and stands nose to nose, just as far as away as I'm talking to this mic. That distance, like 1 inch nose to nose, and he just stands there. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say a word. He's like nose to nose. Now, the older gentleman that we were with is nose to nose with him. Like, they're like 1 inch away from each other. And it was the craziest scene. I've never seen this in my life. They're just nose to nose. And the guy's just breathing. And like, he's like, and just not saying anything. Had glasses on and everything. And then he just walks off. After like probably 10 seconds, which seemed like a minute, he just walks off. And I'm like, what was that about? Like, did y'all know each other? He was, and the guy, older gentleman, we was.
How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Yes. Welcome to the Grapevine. Welcome to the Grapevine. Matt, time to pick some grapes off the vine. This is the Truth Radio 101.7 out of Milwaukee in the American Family Insurance Studios. Starting to sneeze, man. I need to sneeze. Looney, I'm going to go to the chat and I'm going to go to the text. So you can call or text 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. You can definitely call or text or hit us up on the chat on YouTube. I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Looney 504 says, if you don't get away, everyday life will drive you crazy. Let me tell you, yes, everyday life will drive you crazy. Daniel Mosley says, Brother Sabir, that is the ultimate thing I would do if I had the money to do it, is buy my own island. And anybody that does it is doing it to get away from all y'all and everybody else. Everybody would do that if they had the money to do it. That's including our brother Zach. Daniel Mosley also said, I'm not saying go away from your people. I'm talking about in the effort to gain peace for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's about gaining peace for yourself. You cannot go throughout life and not have any peace. You got to have some peace for yourself. So I'm not going to lie, 2026 is starting to sound like a science fiction movie. You got AI therapists. Like, think about it. You got AI therapists that are doing the same thing that a therapist would do in kind of this normal human setting. I read an article in which moms are using AI, and I said this previously, moms are using AI to help dictate the behavior of their kids. So they are literally using AI to help their kids' behavior in the house. And there have been a number of articles on this. So look it up. Billionaires becoming trillionaires, UFC fights, and on the White House lawn, everybody just becoming a podcaster. So has social media made normal life feel unsuccessful? Like, everybody's expected to be extraordinary on the social media landscape. Everybody wants to be a star. That even, there's a song. There's a song by The Roots, and I think the chorus is like, everybody wants to be a star. Basically, they were like, everybody wants to be extraordinary and run away from comparing themselves to people, to other folks. Like, no, don't compare me to anybody. I'm one of one. And that's cool. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody. But you also, you don't have to compare yourself to somebody, but in reality, we're all a part of a community. So even though you're not comparing yourself to this particular person, A, B person over there, no, C, D person over here, they're doing their thing. They're not paying attention to you. They are definitely not paying attention to the people that you are around. They're paying attention to themselves in order to make themselves feel good about whatever they got going on in their life. They're not comparing themselves to anybody, but the people that do, you're in trouble. Possibly. We got fake luxury. Chad Ochocinco said he doesn't wear jewelry. He wears fake jewelry. So he said he will purchase something from Temu and put it on and be straight. There's a lot of people who are branding themselves. Like, everybody has a brand. Kids, adults, women, children, whatever type of genre you are on, that you're doing, you are branding. You're basically branding yourself. Like, we're all a part of this microscope, this branding type of microscope. We're all a part of it. And it's very interesting. And it gives us, we have, with all of this, it's pressure to perform. It's pressure to perform. We all have to perform to the best of our ability, but it's becoming pressurized. And I wonder if social media, the application of social media, is attempting to destroy the appreciation for regular life. Is social media attempting to destroy the appreciation for regular life? Like, I wonder. This is wild. Like, because we're opening up all these apps, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all this other stuff, and we find that we're not looking up. Are we appreciating regular life? Do you when parents take their kids to the park, are they looking up? Are they not taking pictures? I know you want to take pictures and videos of your kids and stuff like that, but are you not taking pictures of your kids and running around with them? Have you put down your phone and you know, ran around with your kids? Is it a scam? Is this whole thing a scam? Is our phones with social media and all that stuff, is it a scam? Possibly. For you not to look up and view your kids as individuals. This is huge. Also, I'm gonna ask everybody this. Before social media, or during those times when you've lost your phone, do you find that your memory is longer when you are not looking at your phone for an extended period of time versus when you have your phone and you have to navigate all the jungle of apps, or not? There was a study, and I'm a reference a study. There was a study that said that people who have longer memories nowadays are people who spend less time focused on this short attention span, attention grabbing type of device. So the people who are suffering from memory loss are utilizing these devices regularly. The people who are, and this is not like you have Alzheimer's or dementia, but there was a study, I don't know where the study was, but the people who and they conducted this study, they asked people in a memory study, like, hey, take this memory study, let's take your phone away after you take this memory test, and let's compare the results. They found that the people who had memory loss were the individuals that were on their phone for for an extended period of time. That's very, very interesting to me. That's very interesting. So that's why I'm asking if social media and the phone is an actual scam. You know, if you're not using your memory, if you're not using your mind, you're basically losing it. You're losing your mind. That's wild to me. That's very, very wild. Looney 504 on vacation at the club. People are glued to their phones to show the followers where they are instead of enjoying the moment. And that's true. Folks are, when you go to the club, I guess, I'm not a clubber, but I do know that when I was, a lot of times you would, they have like the open fronts at the club, especially in Miami. You'll find a lot of people that are glued. They have their phones out, glued to the phones and stuff like that. Even recently, look at DJ Khaled. He was getting some flack because he was on his phone in the front. And another one, he was on his phone.
Congratulations.
got the keys. He was on his phone at the finals. Now, he might have been handling some major work, but he was on his phone, I think, for an extended period of time while trying to.
Was that a DJ Brother Z exclusive?
yes, we are back. We are back. We are back. Yes, man, this is crazy. This is wild. We had a wild Friday. I think Friday started yesterday for most people. So we had a few things go on in the studio, which is dope. We had a lot of folks, a lot of conversations and all that good stuff. This very interesting day. I'm excited for the weekend. I'm excited to get some more work done. We are still waiting for our guest, DJ Booba. Our guest, Eric Murray, had to tend to some business. We will catch up with him later. No problems, no worries. We are good. This is Milwaukee. We always roll. So this is the Grapevine, and we're going to pick some more grapes right now. So here's what I'm going to do. And I need to be honest. I think a lot of people are outside, but not actually enjoying themselves outside anymore. Remember back in the day, I remember this. Everybody always has this. Remember back in the day, I used to walk 3 miles to the corner store.
Damn.
Yeah. I didn't walk 3 miles. I walked a block to the corner store for penny candy.
Bruh.
And Now Laters. I remember Now Laters out, man. They had the little 5-pack Now Laters. Was it 5-pack Now Laters? Ooh. And we ain't never call them like Now and Later. They were called Now and Laters. But we call them, it's a whole word, Now Laters. In Milwaukee, we call, like, you may even have the N in the middle of the Now and Later, but it ain't necessarily, we pronounce the R at the end of the later. It's like later. Like, is that an R or T? Is that an A? But we would just say now later. Now later. I don't know. This is wild. But we had penny candy. We had Alexander the grapes. That's what I would take. I would not take. Wasn't stealing. But I had ooh, man. And then lemon heads. When lemon heads came out, that was a problem. One, they taste so good. But two, I was born in the crack era, and y'all know what was going on back then. People was doing some wild stuff with that. I'm not advocating for it, but please, a lot of people had gotten in trouble because they were taking the yellow off the white. So people are like now documenting back to being outside or not being outside. People are documenting their life more than living it. Like we're you know, the phones, even if you look at the OG Ananobi put back tip layup in the, like, people were recording that versus living in the moment. And there's a satisfaction when you're living in the moment. There's a satisfaction when you're looking at these spectacles.
But it's not the same dopamine hit of going viral and getting all those likes and clicks and shares and comments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's the exact is right. You know, you definitely you're pressing that button. You're pressing that dopamine button over and over and over again. When you post something to Facebook or Instagram, you're definitely pulling that up. Like, but is it okay? I got a caller on line one. Caller, talk to me. You got time?
Hi, did you hear me?
Lisa, what's up?
Okay. You know, these young kids, they talk about, like my niece, I can't find no friends. People ain't, you know, they ain't, what they say, honest, or they ain't, whatever. I forgot the word she said.
Right.
But I'm like, well, first of all, you have to find a friend. A friend is not someone that comes, you meet, and for a couple of weeks and they're your friend.
Right.
A friend takes years to develop. A friendship takes years to develop it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you were around, but back in the day, how we socialized, we didn't have cell phones. What we had was a mouth.
Right.
If we go to the club, it's me and my friend dancing, or the girls dancing, you best believe some dude's going to come bring it up. They're gonna come break it up.
Yeah.
And see, they don't. That's how you socialize. You don't have to know everybody. You ain't have to go out on dates with them and everything. We just went out, had some fun, met a couple of people, and that's it. Maybe we'll switch numbers or anything, and things like that. That was it.
Right.
You got to get a friendship. And I went to the club in Atlanta at a friend's party. Went to the second floor. They were jamming out.
Yeah, but now
on their phone.
But now it's a problem because
everybody.
Yeah, I feel you, Lisa. But now it's a problem because some people approach other people, whoever it is, what genre of person you are in, and they get rejected. What would you say to that? Like, what would you do?
Girls back in the day rejected guys. But they didn't go and, bang them either. He walked away. He just walked away. He's like, you tripping. Come on, see, girl, you wrong. You must be bougie or something. If he say that. But he'll walk away cool. It's okay to be turned down, sweetie.
That's right.
It's okay. This generation of young men don't understand. They don't know that it's okay that you be rejected. You don't have to get upset, call her all out her names, and want to hurt her or anything because you were rejected. Sweetheart, live on. Somebody else you come along, you talk to, you'll be fine.
So Zach said, what if they want to be friends and they get rejected? Bruh.
Well, that's her. I mean, then you'll be missing out maybe on a good friend. You never know.
Oh.
I love guy friends. I have guy friends. I don't do girls. No way.
Really?
I don't do girlfriends.
Okay.
No. God, no.
Why not?
They talk too much. They gossip too much. They talk too much. They gossip too much.
Yeah.
They're going to talk to another girl about you. Guys, man, they cool. They'll tell you everything. Look, this is how I was. I be with my brothers and their friends. Man, they tell you everything about women, what they did. And then, man, got the good eats. Oh, man, they know great places to go eat. I'm like, why you ain't tell me? Why y'all be having good places to eat? And I'm the last one to know.
Right.
You gonna bring me some food, but you ain't gonna tell me where you got it from.
Right.
See, I love men. They good to talk to. They good to listen to.
Right.
And they will give you good advice. I don't know about these new generation today, but they'll see a guy and tell them, "No, Lisa, he ain't right."
Yeah.
No, he ain't right. You know what? Yeah, I talked to him, and he don't fit your category. He don't even fit anything. So that's how they were.
Uh-huh.
But they would kill me about tell me about the women. Ooh, that'd be some funny stuff. Yeah, so that's all I have to say. Y'all have to get out and y'all got to put them phones down. If you want friends and if you want someone, you have to. I don't know how you're gonna meet anybody on the phone. You gonna meet somebody on the phone? Is that what y'all do now? Y'all date on the phone?
Listen.
Get out and live. Have fun.
Listen, man, that's wild. That is wild. I think that. Thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yes,
have a good day.
You too. I think that's a good point. People. Now I remember going outside. We used to live on Valit, and my mom. I had older friends. Like I was like 5, 6 years old, and my friends was older. They were like 15, 16, and we would just all run the neighborhood. And they would come to the crib. Like me and my brother had older friends. They would come to the crib and we would just kick it. And we just had fun. But this, like, going into the weekend, what are y'all doing for fun? Are y'all getting outside? Are y'all really getting outside? Are y'all putting your phones down? I know the game is gonna be on, but are y'all putting your phones down? Are y'all, enjoying the moment, living in the present, enjoying the fact that there are a lot of serious issues compounding every day, but are you really enjoying the moment? People are recording concerts instead of dancing. Like, what?
I'm not going to go. I mean, if I'm at a concert, I'm not going to a concert to dance.
Right. But, you still got a lot of people who are dancers who go to concerts. You know what I'm saying? Like
a rave is something else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. But if I'm going to I'm old school. If I'm going to a Maze and Frankie Beverly concert, I'm going to dance a little bit. Like,
Yeah, hit a little two-step.
I do 2, 3, 4.
All right.
Al, what's up?
Hey, well, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to do everything I'm big enough to do this weekend. But I want to encourage all of you. Do not go out with no friends that so-called save. Because a lot of times they'll be sitting there looking at you like you're crazy while they letting them Haitians and all them other people play in their mouth and they other private parts, and then they'll turn their back on you. So if you want to go out, you make sure you go out with people that's like-minded like you, who don't tell their business, and you keep a straight face. Make sure you eat your bananas, take your 2 bottles of water, and always take a shower. And remember, if they say no, they might not be for you, but the other 5 might be. And after you take a break and go get 3 more, go to nap and then get up the next morning and go get some more. Live your life. You got one life to live, and don't nothing come from being saved except dust on a clearance sale rack. And you don't want no dust nowhere. Live your life.
Live your life. That's right, Al. Thank you, Al. I really appreciate it. That, you know what? That's, Al, that's one of the best messages that's one of the top messages you said in a long time.
I concur.
I like that. Live your life, man. Eat your bananas, drink your water.
And do everything that you're big enough to do. What's up, Jovan? Talk to us.
What up?
All I want to say is that Zach beat's fire, and if Zach needs somebody to get on that beat, I'm an artist and I got skills. That beat he got is hot.
Hey, we might have a freestyle Friday up in here.
You talking about this one?
Hey, if y'all do, please let me know. Text me this number, let me know, because I got skills.
Hey, I'm going to give you 1 minute. Then we're going to cut you off.
No, he's not going to be able to do it over the phone. You talking about this beat, though?
Yes, the one you just played on the interlude, yes.
All right.
That's
yeah.
hot. That's hot. Yeah, I like that one. I'm like,
wait, Zach, let him give like four bars of acapella. Go ahead.
You got that, Jovan?
You want acapella?
Jovan, you got.
I go acapella and Rockefeller like Jay-Z. Okay. I'll go Rockefeller like Jay-Z and AZ. I'm going hard since A3. You know me. I'm off the top like a haircut. I'm going hard, truth. And I'm in the cut in Milwaukee trying to get bucks. I'm trying to get richer. I see the picture.
Okay.
all right. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to tap in with you.
Holla at me, Z. I love the beat, man. Holla at me, bro.
I got you. I'm gonna put you on hold. But before I do that, I definitely gotta shout out my homie Benjamin, because Benjamin definitely has a verse.
Man, whatever happened to Benjamin, man? I ain't heard from him in a minute.
He's doing well. I'll tell him you said what up. Okay. He's probably listening right now. So Ben, if you are, appreciate you for killing that beat. So look, now we got somebody else on it. So I'm a definitely tap in with you, get your information, and we gonna get you on that.
Yeah.
Hey Z, if you want, you could text. You know the number I just called you from. You can hit me at that one, because that's the dude I work for. That's his number. So he always, you can hit me at that line. That's the dude I work with.
All right, bet. I got you.
Yes, sir. All right.
Yo, we freestyle. We gotta. It is cool. Al came in real clean. Thanks, Al. I really appreciate you coming in real clean with it. We drinking our water, eating our bananas, keeping our, what did he say? Keep our head clean, our mouth, whatever he said about Listerine.
Taking a shower.
He said take a shower, keep the thing clean. That's cool, man. I like that, Al. Thank you for calling in. And Jovan, really appreciate you, man. This is Soapbox Friday. You on your soapbox, so you can pretty much say what's on your mind, keep it clean, whatever. But I really appreciate, Jovan, you coming in, being brave enough to, spit your bars. We might have to have you in the studio just for like that 1 minute. You got 1 minute of freestyle on Soapbox Fridays. And then after that, we're gonna make you do 100 push-ups. So you get 1 minute and you gotta do 100 push-ups. All right. All right, Jovan. Hopefully you getting this Texas if you got this message, though, bro. So I'm always interested in like food. I like food. I really, really like food. Milwaukee has some good food. A lot of good food. But people are now, we're like becoming obsessed. And I'm not knocking people who are they're foodies. They call themselves foodies. They go to different restaurants and they take pictures. And when they take those pictures, they then post them to social media and they, build a following. And ultimately it also becomes some people's careers. What I'm afraid of is that there's times when we cross the line where we're going out to these restaurants and we're taking pictures of food, going to the restaurants, and the food critics are coming from a perspective of, yes, whether or not they like it, the consumer perspective, but not like a professional consumer. They turn themselves into professional consumers, but they're also almost in the degree some people are not considering the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into someone's business. And I think that's where the lines are blurred. But if you are in that business, then you're on the other hand, you're going to take a little bit of criticism, a lot of criticism, whether or not that food is good or not. That's up to the consumer. That's not necessarily up to you, unless you can take the criticism and adjust to whatever the food critic or the food follower is saying. That's what I'm talking about. I've been to places like New Orleans where there was this place my guy took me in New Orleans, and it's in the French Quarters, and it looked like a deli from the outside, like it looked like a corner store, but you go on the back, it was a deli, and they were serving at the time I think I got like some po' boys and a whole bunch of stuff, man. But this was like one of the best sandwiches I've ever had. And I was on my way out of New Orleans, so I was driving out, and it was just like, okay, I had to come back there. I forgot whatever, man. If you from New Orleans, if you're from New Orleans and you know that sandwich spot, because it's a sandwich spot. It ain't, New Orleans ain't that big, but if you know that sandwich spot, please put in the chat or call in, because I want to know if that place is still there. Like they had some nice sandwiches too. So, but I didn't put a picture up of the place, but I know that people do have pictures of it. Anyway, posting food instead of tasting it, that's a big one that I'm always thinking about. People take pictures of the food and they post it and they're like, man, this is a great place. Although they may not have tasted the food like as a food critic. Or here's another thing, flexing vacations. Like everybody has done that. Everybody, you take a vacation, man, boom. You taking pictures of whatever else is going on the vacation, and then you move on throughout your vacation. But are you doing this because this whole thing looks active, but are you emotionally fatigued? Are you emotionally exhausted? Behind the photos, are you emotionally exhausted? Are you doing all of this, for that dopamine hit? It's like that couple that tells you to take a picture of them, right? And they're all happy because you're taking the picture, and they're happy. They shoot that big old smile, boom, in the picture, and then all of a sudden you get a phone back to the people, and they look at the photo, and their smiles disappear. Life has to go. Of course, life has to go on, but is it really necessary to do that much picture taking, that much video taking? I'm interested in what people have to think about that. It's like it's like I think that what they call it is like main character syndrome. The main character syndrome. People want to always be the main character. When in all situations, you want to be this person. You want to be that person. We all want to be the main character. It's like we want to be stars. We want to be stars. But I think honestly, it's emotional. It's an emotional burnout. It's overstimulation. My daughter, we went to where did we go? We went to a specific event, and this was recently, a couple of days ago, and she just couldn't take it. She could not take it. She was overstimulated. 6 years old, of course, but in any normal situation for a 6-year-old in this kid environment, she would have been straight. But she just had too much going on for her day to add this event to it. Like it was too much. So she became overstimulated. I think, and that comes to, I think about something. My question is, what's something people pretend to enjoy? Like, people pretend to enjoy and people pretend to enjoy networking events. Like, what is the purpose of a networking event? Honestly, what is the purpose of a networking event?
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's not. And
especially if you're antisocial as it is.
Right. If you are an introvert and you're antisocial, you're a person that just doesn't want to be around people, and you at a networking event, although, that's kind of oxymoronic, but if you are at a networking event and you're antisocial, like, are you really going to do something at this networking event?
Because it's so hard to describe yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I can show you better than I can explain it.
Yes. Like, I got a business, and I need to show you this business before anything else.
Like, you're doing something that I can help with. Like,
right.
Let me help you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or how about traveling, like I brought this up, airport travel. Like, actually traveling, like, it, although, we watch people watch in the airport, but airport travel is, and sometimes hard, especially for people who are traveling with kids. If you're traveling with kids through the airport, man, hit us up on the chat. This summer is probably going to be a big travel summer for a lot of people because of many different reasons. But if you're traveling through the airport with kids, that's tough. That is really hard. I remember coming back. I was going to Chicago, but I had to fly. No, I was going to Milwaukee. I had to fly through Chicago, and I had my daughter, and we were going through Chicago. But at the time, the airport made a mistake. They didn't inform me at 10:30 at night that there were no more flights going out to Milwaukee at that particular time. And so when I went to the airport kiosk, I think it was like United Airlines or American, whatever. I think it was American. Like, nobody was there. So I had to try to find a way around. I called the place, called American Airlines. They said nothing's going out. So luckily, my daughter, I think, was for like 4.5. Probably, no, might have been 4. And luckily I called my cousin. And he was just coming back in town. So I called him. I was like, hey man, are you coming? Or are you in town? He was like, yes, I'm just now getting off a plane in Midway. So I was at O'Hare. He was like, I'm just now getting off a plane in Midway. Meet me at the house. But his house was like, I think north side, like northwest side, something like that. No, it was west. I had eventually made my way south because my daughter wanted something to eat. So I I went to this African spot on the south side. And I mean, then the Uber driver, literally in the middle of the south side, like it was a neighborhood, dropped us off, and he was just like, here's your bags, boom, done. And I was like with a 4-year-old at 11 something at night, and we just got bags on the south side of Chicago. I was like, man, this is wild. But the airport travel was hard, man. That was a hard trip. However, we made our way through the travel. Do people really enjoy expensive restaurants? What about expensive restaurants like the hot to tot expensive restaurants where you dress up, put your thing on, your ascot and your bow tie? Do people really enjoy expensive restaurants? Is it worth it? Is that expense worth it? Are you paying $40 to $50 for a particular experience?
I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful, that taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Yes. Now we're back on the Grapevine. We're going to pick some grapes from the Grapevine. If you got any comments, questions, or concerns on the Soapbox Friday, let me know. Call in 833-212-1017. Put this in your phone. 833-212-1017. Make sure you tune in to the Grapevine, Truth Radio 101.7. Listen, Waymo, if you think about travel, Waymo taxis if they're going to come. They're in large cities, and it's the craziest thing. If you ever been to a larger city, man, Waymo taxis are wild. Because you pull up to a Waymo taxi and there's nobody in the Waymo, like at all. Like that, but they're gonna come. They're gonna be here. Self-driving, everything is coming, whether we ready or not. Line one, Shannon, what up?
Man, what's up? First of all, I heard you talking about Waymo, and we're going to get there. I want to first say people do not like nice restaurants like that. Like, I've been at some really nice restaurants, and the whole time I'm thinking, man, I could have went to McDonald's. And then the bill comes, and it's $300 for two people, and I'm like, we could have really went to McDonald's. But then the Waymos, let's talk about that too. Because I live in Vegas, where they are everywhere. And it's so annoying because a lot of times they just holding up traffic because they don't have the common sense to cut people off. They trying to follow the rules of the road, and that don't always work.
You right.
They don't know common sense. They driving with logistics. And it's like, bro, I got to get to work. Move. But they over there trying to make this clean turn.
Hey, Shannon, come back to the studio. We want to hear about your Waymo stories.
Look, I heard that and I just got hot because I done been late to work because of a line of Waymos. I'm like, who's up here holding up traffic? And it's a line of Waymos. Man, I just got hot thinking about it. I'm about to make a U-turn on the highway just to come talk about it.
Hey, listen. Hey, Shannon, we need an endorsement from Waymo. You think you can pull an endorsement from Waymo?
Listen, how long they hold up traffic for? We could have a whole business meeting. I haven't even been in one yet, man. Like, it's just crazy to me because I think I'll get irritated being in one. I'll just get out and start walking.
Yo, Waymos are wild though. Waymos, from what I heard, they have like they're driverless, of course, but they have people, I think in either India or Indonesia, who are kind of Philippines that are driving the Waymos. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I know, like, so what I assumed was it was kind of like Tesla because Tesla is full self-driving too.
Right.
So if, like, you click the feature, it'll take all the turns for you. It'll do all the exits. But, like, my thing with Tesla is, like, there's different ways you can program it to where you could be like, drive aggressively, drive like you got somewhere to be,
right.
and it'll do it. But, like, Waymos are literally, like, I think also because mostly tourists are using them right now out there, like, so they're really trying to do the safe thing, but sometimes it's just, like, more inconvenient than anything. I think later down the road they might be a lot better, but right now, like, when I say those things hold up traffic, you will be like, who is up there? And it's just a line of them, like, doing, like it's the right thing, technically, but it's stupid. Like, what are you doing? And then you got it to where, like, have you seen those videos where they'll just stop in the middle of some train tracks or something?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
yeah, or the grid shut down like in San Francisco. The grid shut down in San Francisco.
Like,
remember that? Those Waymos going in a circle?
Yeah, where they were like, we didn't have nowhere to go, so we just circled the block. Like, man, those people are intimidating some witness somewhere.
I wonder if did those Waymos have any people in them?
No, I doubt it. I think if they from what I heard, they didn't have it like anywhere to go.
Yeah.
So they just kind of circled a block.
Okay.
But still, like, there's got to be better protocols and better systems in place. I do feel like Waymo is probably the way of the future for sure when it comes to Ubering and stuff. Yeah. But right now, it's just the growing pains of it all, right? Where it's like, man, y'all are in the way, move. But that's my take on Waymo.
You're in the way, move. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Y'all got a way move.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I just wanted to drop that opinion on y'all.
I appreciate it, Shannon.
Of course.
All right. Holla at you. Yo, this is crazy. Waymos, they're everywhere, man. Waymos everywhere. If you ain't been in a Waymo, it's an experience.
You've been in one?
Yep, I've been in one, and you know, it's an experience. Ain't nobody in the driver's seat. That's wild, right? Nobody in the driver's seat.
Wow, that's crazy.
Ain't that wild? Like, nobody's in the Waymo driver's seat at all. Like, I mean, it's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing. I wish that Milwaukee had more Do we have Waymos in Milwaukee?
No, we don't.
Okay. So we're in trouble. We're behind the 8 ball.
I don't think we can handle them here.
You don't think so?
The streets are too bad. There's too much construction.
Too
many bump outs.
Oh, really?
Just think about it. Think of all of the places that do have it, and think of how their city streets are set up.
Right.
And where you see the Waymos.
Yeah.
Versus Milwaukee.
Okay.
The Waymos would probably have to like be restricted downtown, but even then, that would be too much.
Okay. This is very interesting, man. This is a really interesting. Are they in Chicago?
I think I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up. I really want to know if they're in Chicago, and is it worth it though? Is riding in a Waymo worth it? Do they I wonder if they have like speed control in a Waymo. Or do they go like, I know they go to speed limit, but what if you're late? What if you're late to work and you gotta jump in a Waymo? Do they have like an automatic, speed dial? Like, I need you to go 10 miles more.
No, it's probably not going to let you do that. But it says Waymo vehicles are in Chicago for mapping and testing, but fully autonomous rides are not yet available to the public. So yes and no.
Yeah.
They're there, but not for the public. They're learning. They're learning the streets.
Okay. That's deep. So the Waymos are learning the streets. Yeah. We'll see how it goes, man. We will definitely see how it goes. I want to pivot a little bit and talk about street takeovers. So a street takeover last Sunday led to multiple arrests, blah, blah, blah. Jeff Norman, police chief, and Chevy Johnson both called it, unacceptable. I think that I wonder if, especially for the street takeovers in relationship to, and I guess kids, people, adults also in these takeovers, are they majority? And I haven't been a part of a takeover in a long time, but are they coming out with cars? Or the people's like, it's like a party, like street party? What is it? And
I want to say, to my knowledge, yeah, it's just, like a bunch of car groups, teens, young adults that are just getting together in a public space and either doing donuts or probably street racing.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right. So doing street racing.
Depending on the amount of people, but definitely donuts.
Okay. I mean, is it unsafe though?
Theoretically.
Okay. I mean, I guess I know donuts and, you're doing something with your car, but I'm trying to figure out if can we move this? Can we organize the street takeovers? And I guess they wouldn't be a takeovers if they're organized like from the government. Because I remember when they had something similar to this with Michael McGee Jr., and he was trying to organize people to go to the county parks and, gather at the county parks and do something and not just the county parks, but the Milwaukee Brewer Stadium. So the Brewer Stadium is a park. It's part of the park system. And he was trying to get people to go to the Brewer Stadium to do whatever they needed to do at the Brewer Stadium. And I think it was shot down in some form or fashion. But what if we had I know people like to drag race, and it's drag racing all over the city. But what if we had an area in Milwaukee where people can drag race? So everybody, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about some more issues that we're on the Soapbox. This is Soapbox.
Black Business Beat.
Yo, welcome back to the Grapevine. We're going to pick some grapes off the vine today. This is Soapbox Friday. We're on our Soapbox. We just going to, y'all can come with complaints. I don't want to complain, but y'all, thank you, Zach. Y'all ain't got to complain. You could come with whatever's on your mind. And what's on my mind, I've been going through a number of topics that have been on my mind. I got a lot of them. But I've been thinking about scams. And I lived in Florida. People know that. I say that often. I lived in Florida. And Florida is the land of scams. And I'm trying to figure out, like, I talked to one of my people when I met my friend. I asked my friend, I was like, what do you do? Like, when I first met this person? And my friend said that they're in finance. And I was like, finance? You in finance? Like, what type of finance do you do? Are you in banking? It's like, no. private equity? No. Like, what type of, like, public? Are you on the public side or the private sector? And I could have kept going, right? And my friend said, no, I'm not in any of those. I was like, whoa. But what are you in? And my friend said they are in scamming. Scamming is a job. Scamming is a job, and it's a billion-dollar industry. Scamming is a real job. So I was trying to figure out, like, why are you telling me that you're in the scamming? That's wild to me. So is a scam like convenience fees? Because I don't like convenience fees. Anybody, if you are out and about and you need to get something from the ATM, that fee sometimes, and it has definitely gone up for certain banks. Now you went from, I remember seeing some fees at like $1, went from $1 to like $1.50, $2, $2.75. Some of those ATM fees are $3. $3 to pull some money out of your account. Banks have a lot of convenience fees. Matter of fact, if you put your money in the bank, this summer is going to be a real tough summer, man, especially in your savings and your checking. They pull that money out. If you ain't got enough money in that checking or that savings, they start taking them fees out. They'll close that account in a hot flash if you don't have enough money being put into that account. Subscriptions. People are outraged at subscriptions. Subscription fees are a scam. Like, how are you adjusting to these rise in subscription fees? Like, I know that Hulu has high level subscription fees. Disney, I'm just thinking about the stuff that I have paid for in the past. Disney Plus now combines with Disney Plus, ESPN. They have jumped up in subscription fees. And Netflix went from like the red box. You went from like the red box at Walgreens to paying $27 to watch some dang movies.
Yup.
That you might not necessarily.
Dee's Home Hazmat program offers 3 drop-off centers that are open all year long. It's fast and easy. You don't even have to get out of your car. And it's free to visit the drop-off. Lithium-ion batteries, old gas, propane tanks, they take all of that and more. For a list of things you can and cannot bring, locations and hours, go to mmsd.com. Milwaukee County residents only. No businesses.
Yes, we're back and we're gonna pick some more grapes. Subscription fees, Netflix. What is going on? Like, y'all, I mean, I'm not gonna say you tripping, but you tripping. You went from like I said, you went from the red box to like, what is it like? It was $5, $3, $7. I remember the $7 one. I remember jumping on that $7, and I thought they were gonna hold it, and then they went from $7 to like 7 to the 17, 16, something like that, and went from 16. Then they jumped up to 27. They was telling people that they was jumping up to 27. That's a problem, man. That is a problem. What else is a scam that people need to? Oh, here's the real scam. Okay, so I gotta put everybody up on game. So if you go to Miami, if you go on any tourist destination, especially ones that tax there's a few taxes that you have to recognize that you are definitely going to pay. But while I was in Florida, they have a they have a mandatory tip. You also pay gratuity. So you pay gratuity and a mandatory tip, and you're paying a sales tax. So you're paying 3 times the cost of your meal when you eat on the boardwalk. And there are a lot of places that have this dynamic pricing also. So it's these places, they will change the menu in a minute. They will reprint. If you're eating chilaquiles, if you're eating chilaquiles or a Denny's, whatever, like sunny side eggs with grits and bacon and toast, one day and it's $10, because you have dynamic pricing, guess what? Guess what, everybody? The next day, they could change that pricing to $12 or $20, and that's what you're gonna be paying. That's the craziest thing. That's what you're gonna be paying. So this is what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking is, hey, look, don't pay. Just try to create something that if you are noticing that you're getting scammed from convenience fees, subscriptions, like, just start disconnecting. That's what I need to start. Zach, you gonna disconnect?
No.
Okay, don't disconnect. All right, you can't disconnect all the way, but there are some things like the Netflix subscription. Hit YouTube. There's some nice movies on YouTube. So what about exclusive events? Now, I know as a concert goer, I like concerts, but are exclusive events really exclusive though? If you're going to, videotape it, you're going to use that platform or use your phone to videotape the entire thing. I don't know. Then they won't become exclusive. It kind of reminds me of like the Jay-Z concert. The Jay-Z concert was definitely exclusive in a way. It was a picnic. If you were there, you enjoyed the presence of Jay being on stage and the Roots playing, but it almost felt like the people that wanted to go, yes, they did go and they enjoyed their time, but did you really have to go if it was being videotaped? I don't, like, me, I'm good watching it on the screen. Last thing, self-care, y'all. If you are a guy like me and you recognize that the people around you are taking care of themselves, the ladies are taking care of themselves, they doing the self-care wellness thing, make sure you are taking care of yourself. Make sure you're taking care of yourself in many different ways. Make sure you are practicing therapy, silence as healing. Make sure you're silent, throughout the day. Make sure you're trying to practice not arguing, having an emotional isolation from things is okay. Driving alone is a part of that self-care. Go wash your car. Wash your car. Like, that's what I like to do. If I get a chance, wash the car. Wash your car is nice. It don't have to be a pastime, but it's a part of your social self-care. And you know what? I like Home Depot too. I like walking around Home Depot as quiet as it kept.
There's a lot of fine women that work at Home Depot.
Dang, Zach. Hey, y'all. I'm Manan Sabir. This is the Grapevine. We are in American Family Insurance Studios on the Truth Radio 101.7. If I haven't said it once, I'll say it again. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Have a good one. All right, y'all. Peace.